Changing seasons is a really cool time in Austin, Texas. You actually get to experience all 4 seasons in a single day. You wake up and it's spring, it's summer by lunch, and then in the evenings, my wife and I like to go downtown, have a picnic, and watch the sunset over the city where it's a brisk fall. Head to a friend's house for a campfire for winter temperatures. And that's where I'm at right now. Join me. We've got an episode to share today that's useful to everyone out there who is pursuing a career in Amazon PPC or managing Amazon PPC campaigns, which is a huge and fast-growing industry. Years ago, there was only about $3 billion a year spent on Amazon ads. Today, there's over $10 billion a year, and it's expected to hit $30 billion a year in ad spend over the next few years. What industry do you know that it has increased 10x over the last few years? And the cool thing is, all of those dollars are going to be managed somehow, either by a campaign manager in-house for a large brand, by an agency, a freelancer, or for smaller companies, probably the owner of the company doubles as chief Amazon marketer. So no matter if you're a solopreneur or work at a large company, everyone listening to this is, in fact, an Amazon PPC marketer. And since AdBadger is currently hiring an Amazon marketer to join our team, which I'd love for you to check out at adbadger.com/careers, which we have a local and remote position available, I thought this episode could serve as a way for you to recognize the habits and mindset that make up what I think is a top-notch, invincible Amazon PPC professional. So while there are loads of traits that make up a good campaign manager, things like diligence, hard work, determination, focus, resilience, positive attitude, intelligence, numbers driven, loves data, loves testing, able to switch from big picture to small picture, technically talented, for this episode, I'm going to share one trait which I think is a leading indicator. If you can ace this, the rest is more than likely taken care of. The first and most important trait of any PPCer or any growth marketer that cares about performance is critical thinking. Back when I was a teacher, we had this thing called Bloom's Taxonomy of learning. Because Amazon moved so quickly, being a good learner, absorbing a new piece of information, and then integrating that with your existing knowledge is vital. I see so many digital marketers that don't think critically about new PPC strategies. They just sort of take them and that's it. What you really need to do is you need to take on a new strategy and work it through these 6 levels of understanding. So, for example, we talked a lot about this show, the RPSB strategy: research, appeal, stick, and block. I won't go into it too much in detail now. We have other episodes on that, but it's basically the act of using a research-based campaign, like an auto campaign, finding a search term that converts, peeling it out, sticking it into a manual exact match, and then blocking it from the auto. Pretty straightforward, right? I go on and I get lots of questions. Hey, I know you mentioned it for an auto campaign. Should I do the same thing for broad match keywords? RPSB, the things that convert into an exact from the broad? Now, what's interesting here is that more often than not, the answer is yes. It's the exact same principle. You have 2 items that trigger lots of other searches, like a broad match can show up for synonyms and stems. Very similar to an auto can trigger lots of different searches and ACID impressions. A good PPC manager has worked through the 6 levels of understanding and knows the answer to that question without even asking. A good PPC campaign manager approaches this question like, why RPSB? Why does it help? Why is it good? How often does it work? And what should I know about it? When wouldn't it work? What's the difference between RPS being a term with 1 conversion or 2? These are questions that often flow through my head when I hear about a new strategy. So an easy way to break down these 6 levels of understanding is to use Bloom's taxonomy of learning. And it works like this. The very first, the bottom level, is simple knowledge. This is rote memorization, being able to define something. Yes, I know what RPSB means. I can tell you the definition of it. The verbs at this stage are things like define RPSB, Define search term, define keyword. Yes, I can explain what RPSB. So in this example, RPSB means research, peel, stick, and block. It involves taking a converting term from an auto campaign, peeling it out, sticking it into a manual exact match group, then blocking it as a negative exact in the auto. Pretty straightforward there. Let's move on to the second level. In the second level, we have comprehension. This is the ability to put it into your own words. The verbs here are explain the purpose of something. So explain the purpose of RPSB. The purpose of RPSB is multifold. The goal is to bid more aggressively on search terms that convert well. This increases the visibility of those keywords, thus increasing impressions, clicks, and sales at a profitable KPI. This also stops you from bidding the average of all the search terms in that auto campaign and helps you bid the right amount per search. You then block it from the original campaign, which allows you to isolate the search term in just one ad group and allows better control of your ad spend. Boom. That's the second level. Now, the third level, we're getting more involved. This third level is application. Can you apply this into a real account? After simply defining the terms and comprehending why it's important, can you actually use this strategy? Can you apply this strategy? This stage involves the campaign manager confidently going into the search term report and building out the RPSB strategy. Now, the fourth, fifth, and sixth levels is truly what separates great PPC campaign managers from the rest. At the fourth level, we have analysis. Here, the campaign manager is able to analyze what happened. This is the process of knowing where to look and what to look for. Essentially, it's building the campaign report. Sometimes it might just be in your head as you're sort of looking at the data. Sometimes it's on a Google Sheet. So it might happen in real time, or some kind of retrospective that you're building a larger report. Either way, the campaign manager knows what to look for and is able to list out all the relevant KPIs. Here, we're looking to see if the campaign manager is studying things like ACost, clicks, impressions, CPCs, revenues, orders, so on. They're able to understand how these numbers relate to one another. The verbs here are analyze, compare, contrast. And compare and contrast is huge because you can compare and contrast the data before and after the optimization took place. So campaign managers make actions that never go in to analyze what is happening. That's a huge issue. The great ones do. In fact, I often recommend every significant PPC optimization you make actually has two dates. The date that you do it gets listed in your project management tool, as well as the date for you to check in on how that performed. So that act of active analysis, going in and seeing, hey, I made these actions. What happened as a result? Was it good? Was it bad? Were some parts good, some parts bad? Did I get more clicks? But was the ACost worse? Being able to analyze the data critically is important. Now at the fifth level, after we've analyzed results, this is where it really gets fun. This is where you synthesize or create a new strategy based off what just happened. The verbs here are invent a new strategy based off what happened. Compose and create a plan to get even better results. Rewrite the RPSB strategy for this particular account. Maybe it's a big spending account. Maybe you should do this process on a daily basis. Maybe you should wait for a term to get 2 or 3 conversions before moving it into a new ad group. Maybe you decide to segment match types into campaigns rather than ad groups. Maybe you want to change the way that you're doing bid optimization. Maybe you want to do single keyword campaigns because top of search, rest of search, and product pages is behaving so differently. This kind of questioning and creation is truly what separates and makes a great campaign manager. You get to think about what happened and create a new course of action informed by all the previous steps. But we're not done yet. At the 6th level, you are a judge. The verbs here are evaluate. So you may want to evaluate all of those potential optimization plans that you listed in the previous step, recommend new adjustments, and then rate the different choices that you can take and rank them in the probability of success order and be able to rationalize as why one optimization has a higher chance of success than others. When you are at the 6th level, this is where the magic happens. When you are at the 6th level of Amazon PPC, understanding, you are seriously impressive. Your clients will love you, respect you. You will feel confident and in control of your campaigns. You are not floundering, you feel empowered. And the best part, this is what's required to truly know Amazon advertising. In fact, this taxonomy of learning is required for any success at any position, especially at a performance-based role like Amazon PPC. And that's it. For a lot of people, the 6 levels of understanding may come very naturally. It's how they're wired. It's how they think. For others, it's much more difficult. I've had to make difficult decisions in the past and actually let people go who got stuck maybe at level 3. Sure, they were able to define the strategy and put it in their own words, and then maybe even follow a simple procedure about how to get the task done. But PPC is so much more than just following a list of tasks. In order to be a great Amazon marketer, you need to be able to look at a strategy, modify it for your specific situation. They couldn't customize it to the client. They couldn't or weren't aware of what they should be looking for when analyzing. And that meant they couldn't create a new strategy, make decisions about how to push an account forward. I highly recommend anyone out there, when you hear a new strategy or technique, think of it in these terms. 1, do you understand it? Can you put it into your own words and determine why it might be a good idea in certain situations? Can you comprehend it in stage 2? Can you do stage 3? Can you actually do the thing? Can you apply it in your campaigns? Can you intuitively know what metrics to look for through analysis? Can you then go and create new ideas for optimizations based off what the data is telling you? From there, are you able to look at all the options and pick the best path to move forward? This is what makes a great PPC campaign manager, and that's the kind of person we're looking for and always eager to hire. So check out adbadger.com/careers. I invite you to apply. I'm gonna get back to making s'mores and drinking spiked apple cider. Have a good one. Check out our episodes at adbadger.com/podcast for all of our content. And hopefully, just maybe, I'll see you inside the Badger Den. Have a good one. Hey everybody, it's Mike here. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. And as some of you may already know, the podcast isn't all that we do when it comes to Amazon. We actually spend the majority of our day working on building the best Amazon advertising tool we possibly can to help automate a lot of the concepts that we discuss during the show.
Yep, and we appreciate you as listeners. We'd love your feedback about our app. And if you're interested in giving our free trial a shot, just head on over to adbadger.com/podcast deal. That's adbadger.com/podcast deal. Thank you so much for the support, guys. We really do appreciate you, and we'll see you next episode.